Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Crank Addict, and this is a channel for crank addicts like me and hopefully like you. Today we're back on the Chris Craft Commander, and we're going to do a little bit of headliner work. So if your cabin cruiser or yacht needs a little bit of headliner work, follow along. Let's see how we do this. Alright, so this is the headliner we just put in here. This is a perforated vinyl headliner. And we ran LED lights all the way around with a dimmer switch. And yeah, if you want to see a cool video on that, look at the links in the description. We are going to be doing the same thing here downstairs in the aft cabin. So follow along, stay tuned, and let's get at it. Alright, so here I am in the aft cabin on this Commander. And you can see how the ceiling looks now. We've got a fiberglass ceiling with beams running across, also encapsulated in fiberglass. There are some teak strips screwed into the fiberglass here and back here, and then all the way around the edges. Those are their tack strips. That's where you actually staple your vinyl to these things. Okay? But to hide the staples, you guys sneak the staples in on the side. I don't know if you guys can see the holes here on the side, so we'll be stapling over here, folding the vinyl over. So we're going to have to cut a piece of vinyl from the starboard side all the way over to the port side. It's about 11 feet and about 3 feet wide, and we'll start stapling that. Now before you start doing any stapling though, you guys got to remember that this vinyl headliner is going to be here for the next 10 or 20 years. So if you got to do anything to your ceiling, make sure you get it done before you start doing any stapling. In our case, it meant installing new LED lighting. These are 12-volt LED lights, so they run off the boat's battery power. And I've got 3-way switches here in the back, and I got another one up here in front. And I've also bought a 30 amp dimmer switch to control it, so I can crank these things all the way up or bring it back down to a more manageable level. And when I installed these lights, I placed a piece of wood across the tack strips so I could see exactly at what height these things were to be installed. I tried to put them in originally with just construction adhesive, but the construction adhesive would not stick to the resin of the fiberglass, and so I wound up having to actually use fiberglass resin to attach these things. But they're there now, they're not going anywhere. So we've got all of our fabric cut and laying on the bed here, and to staple this we're going to be using these let me get that in focus there, T50 staples. Make sure they're stainless steel. That's important for a boat. And we're using a 5/16 depth. And all of our old staples have been removed. You can see there's, no, actually you can't really see them. There you go. You can see all the little staple holes. The staples are gone from the old tack strips. And we're also going to be using this little pancake compressor that we got at Harbor Freight Tools. This works pretty well, and we're using this air stapler, pneumatic stapler as well. I think this came off Amazon. I'm not even sure what brand it is. I don't see a brand. 3+ brand, whatever that means. And it seems to be working pretty well. So let's get to it. Alright, well there's a couple of ways to start. We are actually going to start with this tack strip, the first hanging tack strip I guess in the middle, and we're going to staple it to here, and we got plenty of material so we're going to overlap it on the back side and stretch it tight side to side and then give it a trim. First one's always the easiest. So I can get up in here and we tack it here. We may want to double check. That's a big overhang there. We may not have enough for the other side.
I'm sure.
I don't know. We'll find out.
No.
Alright, so now that we have our curtain in place, we back up here so I can show the whole thing here. Yeah, it's 12 foot wide, all the way across. So now when we stretch it out, it's going to put a lot of wrinkles in here. So we're going to go ahead and put quite a few more staples in there before we stretch it to the back of the cabin. Yeah. On the first row here, it's not too important to get them straight. But when you do the next headliner coming across, they gotta be dead straight. Okay, I had to turn that compressor off manually because it was taking forever to pump up to 125 psi. Seems like it was stuck on 100 psi. But anyway, back to the headliner. We are now, well, the first row of staples were set in there horizontally. This next row is going to be vertically, straight up. So we're going to stretch this headliner out, starting in the middle, and we'll start stapling vertically, boom, 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 all the way across both sides, and we'll try to keep this thing wrinkle free. Well, this thing's gonna help to hold it up, but yeah. What's the texture? Oh man, it's right against the wall, huh?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. This is good. It's tricky. Okay.
Hold on.
There.
Yeah.
The AC good on?
Yeah.
AC is on. Right here.
So I stretch, okay?
I think that's pretty good. Like I said, this is going to help to hold it up when we put that in there. The light will help to hold it up. Maybe. Yeah, this back tap strip is a little hard to get to because of the beadboard that the previous owner put in here.
Okay.
But we're getting it.
Over here, my fingers.
Over here. There. Yeah, not too shabby. Like I said, you can see where our LED light is, and the hatch is there. So that's fairly wrinkle free. I'm pretty happy with that so far.
Giving birth, stretching out the vinyl.
Stretch out the old VJ. That means that's short for vinyl.
Yeah.
VJ's vinyl.
Pretty tight.
Yep. comes out, I can push it back in, and that should look really nice. Ta-da! Where's my knob? There we go. Woo! Okay, so we need to put a bead on that tack strip in order to hide our staple joint. So I am going to make some special beading. I have cut 12 feet of that vinyl. This is the same perforated vinyl that we used for the headliner. I just cut a little 2 to 3 inch strip here. 12.5 feet long. And I'm going to spray it down with this contact adhesive. And then once we have that spray in there, I am going to take this foam, I think it's an 1/8 inch beading here, and I am going to stick it in the middle, and we're going to fold this over to create a foam bead right there. Okay, and then we'll be able to staple that up there, and that bead is going to help to hide all of our staples. It's almost ready to go here. I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but I'm going to put this foam piping right here in the middle. And I'll just carefully fold this over. And try to keep it nice and tight on that edge here.
Beading.
So our, whatever you call it, I call it bead.
You said beading.
Beading.
Beading is what you do to your wife.
Give her a good beating. So here's your beating, honey. So yeah, we're gonna staple this in place here. So we have just a little bit of a reveal underneath, and then when we put our next piece of vinyl on top of this, we're gonna put a serious row of staples across there to make the vinyl look as good as possible. How your reveal look there? Ooh, it's a little high actually. I don't think it's in the right spot.
I think it's good.
You think that's good there?
Come look at it over here.
I don't know. I'm feeling it, and it's like it looks like it's up high.
Come on up high.
You know, I think it needs to be so that the edge of the beading is on the edge of the wood, and that is a little bit too high, I think.
Edge.
And if you want to do that, we can do that that way, but that's not where I would have put it.
Too complicated.
I'm too complicated. I'm a complicated guy. Most guys are complicated, but I am complicated. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll have to play with the other part a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty good. Like that. We've got the beading lightly stapled across. So we got our new piece of vinyl cut. This one's actually 13 feet wide. This is a huge boat. And we're going to start on just one end, and we're going to run it all the way across. This time, we're going to put quite a few staples in there so that this beading doesn't move around like it does right here. So one of us is going to be on the back side to watch the reveal to make sure it stays even. The other person is going to be stapling on this side. Second piece of vinyl, and our first row of staples. So you can see how we're doing here, trying to keep them in line. This could be a problem right here, how they're off like that. That tends to look funny when you pull it tight. Who knows, we'll see about this over here. But all you can do is just kind of pull it tight and see how it looks. So we're going to pull it all the way out to this tack strip here. And we're just going to put a few staples in there because we may have to take them back out to adjust the first row. Alright, so we've got it tight. Alright. And nail it. Nice. Alright, so we got a few staples in down there, and let's look how we did on the seam. Oh, let's see here. This is going to be the critical edge on over here. So, I don't know, that's not too bad. Not too bad.
Right here looks kind of low because we haven't stretched it out.
Yeah, that needs to be stretched more, you're right. That needs to be stretched more there.
Because we only stretch one part.
Yeah.
Only one.
Alright, so we're going to keep stretching it and we'll put a few more staples and we'll see how it looks.
Oh, I don't want to do it again.
Alright, so at this point we screwed up. We're stretching out the vinyl and we are short about an inch over here on this side.
An inch is like half an inch. Unless your inches are
And,
that long.
yeah, well, 'cause, you know, we measured this thing here on this tack strip going all the way across, but this is wider than the other section here. So when we started it, we only gave ourselves an inch or so on the side, and when we finished up on the starboard side, we have 7, 8 inches or something like that hanging off here. So we need to remove those 200 staples we just put in there and shift the whole piece of vinyl over about 3 inches.
How about the height? Can we hide them?
You cannot hide that with Hydem. That's too big of a gap. That's all we can do.
That's not good.
Yeah. All right, guys, check this out. Not good. Our Harbor Freight compressor died on us, and we still have a lot to go down here. Like I said, we only got one panel up, and we need to get up 2 more, and we don't have a compressor anymore. So that compressor did okay for all of this one up here, and about 1/3 of the aft cabin, and it is now dead. So I guess tomorrow I'll see if I can go by Harbor Freight and get another one. Bummers. Alright, we're going to iPhone here because I left my GoPro at home. So we're putting in the beading, and we're going to do it 1/2 of a reveal. When you do half a reveal,
I don't think I'm having any staples.
okay, there. That would be a 100% reveal, and actually sometimes the staples will miss. We're going to be doing a 50% reveal. That way the staples have like a 1/16 of an inch to embed themselves in the wood. That looks pretty good right there. Just half reveal. Oh, hang on, a little higher. Try that. Okay. And a 1/2 inch, or just a half reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, looks pretty good. A little higher. Bring it up more. Right there. Okay. And like that. And these are hard to get to in this corner. Oh man, it's tough to get to.
Right there?
No room for the gun. Yeah, however you can. That might be a little high, but it's in the corner. It's gonna be hard to see, I guess. I can pull it down. Okay. Okay, so now, instead of running our piece of vinyl all the way across here, actually we're still gonna do that. We gotta run the vinyl first. Remember? Mm-hmm. Okay. But what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and take our next piece of vinyl and we're gonna run it. We're actually gonna put a couple more staples in here. It's still kind of flopping. But once you get a couple more staples in here, we're gonna run our vinyl all the way across from side to side, using a lot less staples than we normally would. Maybe a quarter or a fifth of the number of staples. A couple staple every few inches instead of right next to each other.
Go.
All right, so I'm gonna set this thing right on top of that beading, get it as tight as I can, and I'm gonna punch through the fiberglass. All right, then I get my screw and my screwdriver. You guys noticed I had pre-drilled the holes in this PVC, but every, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches apart. I don't have to use all those screw holes, especially working around these lights. It just gives me some more options. So this is the second time I've done this with the PVC, and I was happy with the first one, so here we go again. Get this thing down nice and tight. There we go, it's not going anywhere. And then we'll do that a couple more times here. All right, gotta push it down against that beading. I'm gonna skip a hole. And we'll do it again. And yes, I left my cordless impact driver at home, so I'm doing this by hand. So with that PVC in place, when we stretch this out nice and tight, you can see that I want to have a straight edge on the back side. So that is the reason for our madness here.
No, I think it's fine.
It'll grow back. Down here. Fine, I'll put you in later. I will take care of you later.
Very nice.
There we go. Voila. This interesting piece of folded upholstery is called Heido. and it does exactly what the name implies. It hides the staples. You put it where the staples are around the edges, and you staple it in the middle of the seam, and when the seam folds back closed, it's hidden. And so this will be the trim all the way around your headliner. And the only question is, where do you want to start the trim? I'm thinking we got some 90-degree edges.
I think maybe we should finish it right here in the corner.
Where the curtains are first?
Finish it right there.
Well,
Nobody's gonna see that corner.
We're probably going, well, on these 90-degree corners, we tend to want to cut the height
Yeah, on 45 degrees.
at 45 degrees to make the corners. And then you staple it together the best you can. You try to open up and then grab both edges of the item with one staple. It's kind of tricky, but that gives you the best look. So we'll be doing 90s across there. 90s in the back. So yeah, you just pick a corner and just start putting it down, I guess. So. Okay, so in order to make a 3-way 12-volt switch system, you're going to need a couple of rocker switches with 3 terminals. Okay, and you're going to give this middle terminal, bam, 12 volts, positive there. On the far side, you're going to have that second rocker switch. So when you click one of these positions here, this would be like a double throw, double position type switch. I think that's what they call it, double position DPDT. I think that's what they call it, switch. So it's either contacting these 2 contacts or these switches contacting these 2 contacts, depending which way you run it. So just say by default, we're connecting this top switch here. Okay. Well, this switch here needs to run all the way across to this other switch. And if this one here is also connected, this will go to your positive on your lights. Okay. If you throw the switch down here, you break the system and those lights don't work. If you push this one here down, then suddenly you got connection here going across and you're working again. So this is your basic setup here for your 12-volt light systems. You have a ground, if I can draw the correct electrical sign for ground, okay, something like that. You're going to have a ground switch running all the way across here as well to your negative on your lights, okay? So that's how your 12-volt light system is wired up. Now then, if you wanted to throw in a rotary knob to control the dimming, the brightness of the lights, that knob is going to have most likely 4 wires. The best place to install that, well, let's see here. You can do that either way. You could break this connection here and install it between this 2 here and here, or you can break this connection out here and install it between the lights and down here. Okay? But no matter where you put your rotary switch, you're going to have these 3 wires connecting all your lights together. So let me draw another picture here. These 2 here are always going to be the same. Okay. So then here your 12 volts will come down to your rotary switch, positive, and then back out. Then your 12 volts minus will go into your rotary switch, and then boom, way down here to your lights. That's the main minus, and then you'll your light power here, positive. Okay? So that's one way to do it. And of course, if you wanted to put your switch on the far side, away from your 12-volt battery power, then you just interrupt it right there. So, pretty simple to do. Hope this guys helps you out. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think.